Good evening. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "The only people who achieve much are those who want knowledge so badly that they seek it while the conditions are still unfavorable." And then he added, "And remember, favorable conditions never happen." What was true in Lewis's day is certainly true in ours. Conditions for learning are unfavorable. Learning, the gaining of knowledge and skill, takes discipline, perseverance, hard work, and oftentimes sacrifice. These qualities are in direct opposition to the high value that our current culture places on entertainment, immediate gratification, leisure, and comfort. And yet tonight, despite living in unfavorable conditions, we gather to celebrate these young men and women who have nevertheless achieved very much. We celebrate and honor the fruits of their discipline, perseverance, sacrifice, and hard work. Therefore, it is truly my honor to welcome you, parents, friends, and especially these young men and women, to Concordia Academy's 60th annual Honors Convocation. Of course, it is only fitting that we should begin in the name of our God, the ultimate source and goal of all knowledge and skill, beauty, and wisdom. Thus, it's only right that tonight we should begin this celebration in the name of our great God. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Every year, each department is asked to select a senior to receive a special departmental recognition. We begin with our academic department honorees.
Because we have a God who is a creator, creativity and faith go hand in hand. Therefore, it's truly a blessing to be part of a school that values the arts and encourages student participation in artistic endeavors. To see evidence of that, you don't need to go any further than the exhibit of work by our art students along the main gym mezzanine and the Emerging Artists Cohort Visual Arts Senior Showcase in the Becken Conservatory in the back hallway of the school. In fact, I'd encourage you at the end of the evening to stop by the Commons, grab a cookie, and then head down the mezzanine hallway, look at the art, and then go into the Senior Showcase in the Becken Conservatory. End of shameless plug. Of course, all the arts opportunities in the world wouldn't matter if students didn't embrace them. Embracing art opportunities has certainly not been an issue with this year's Art Award recipient. She's completed 6 art classes at CA, a number that becomes more impressive when you realize she's only been a student here for 2 years. She's an exemplary art student, working hard, embracing the process, seeking input, continually revising, and showing an eager willingness to try new things. But this year in particular, she really shined with the professional level graphic design work that she's done outside of formal classes. Whether or not you realize it, most of you have seen her work this year. She designed our Little Women fall play poster, our fall play posters, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 posters, each spotlighting a different March sister. She created a 3-poster series for our spring show, Shrek the Musical. She took on the task of creating the Senior Showcase poster for this year, as well as an individual poster for each of the 4 members of the cohort. Much to her credit, or perhaps due to a serious lack of judgment, when Pastor Berner brought her into his office and asked her to create a logo featuring a pickle and a lighthouse, she didn't say no and immediately ran out of the room, and a fabulous first annual Beacon Pickleball Open logo was born. In fact, I'm not sure no is even in her vocabulary. And when she'd complete a project, the next thing she'd say is, "Do you have any other projects for me?" This year's award winner was accepted into the CSP Juried College Student Art Show, received a superior and 2 excellent ratings at the Minnesota State High School League Section 4A Visual Arts Competition, and was chosen to have her work featured as the poster for this year's Great Commission Artist Traveling Christian Art Show. She was selected as one of 5 CA visual artists participants in the Skyline Conference Fine Arts Festival, and she was also honored with 2nd place at the Concordia University St. Paul High School Honors Exhibit, which was the first time in the history of that exhibition that a student has been awarded for graphic design work. I'd be remiss if I didn't also point out that she also knows her comic books, which immediately made her a huge winner in my book. Congratulations to this year's Art Award winner, Katie Harris.
Our goal in the English department is to ensure that our students are able to speak, write, think, and communicate effectively with depth and precision. When students are able to do this, they are unstoppable. This year's English Department Award winner is unstoppable and has excelled in developing and displaying effective communication throughout his 4 years as a beacon. Although there is no doubt in my mind that this student would have been a worthy candidate for multiple department awards, it is our honor to recognize this student's outstanding contributions and achievements in language, literature, and communication. This student poured himself into each paper that was penned, engaged with every assigned text, and had a knack for sending the most professional and formal emails I have ever seen. In addition to taking high-level English courses, he made sure that there was a creative writing club this year. Throughout his time at CA, this student was often found sitting eagerly in the front row of every class with a book and his Bible on his desk. He was consistently setting the bar in his classes for the standard of excellence that we want to see from every student. His words to his classmates were well-crafted and kind. His thoughtfulness in each task was only outmatched by his humility and inspiring fear of the Lord. What a privilege it has been to witness this student use words and intentionality to bring glory to the living Word himself. It is an honor to present this year's English Department Award to an outstanding thinker, an excellent communicator, and a gifted student who has invested his talents well. Please join me in recognizing Thad Christensen.
Good evening. Is math created or discovered? Colossians 1 says, "For in him all things are created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. And all things have been created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together." It goes on to say, so that in everything he might have supremacy. So, is math created or discovered? Only a great God could create a system with the beauty and complexity that math holds. When we reflect on the notion that we are capable of understanding abstract principles that explain, record, and predict concrete truths about our world, we have no option but to sit in awe of our holy Creator. How humbled and how honored we are to be allowed to be able to discover the intricacies that math has created through him and for him. This year's Math Department Award winner continually displays a deep appreciation for the patterns and structures found in mathematics that point to our Creator. He seeks to honor the Lord through critical thinking and intellectual growth. He excels in the role of a learner, sometimes leaving problems half finished on the whiteboard to think about over the weekend. These are usually followed by a Monday morning breakthrough and an explanation that starts with, "This is really interesting because I was reading about something probably kind of related, maybe about physics or statistics. And this is actually really useful because followed by an insightful connection between the concepts he's been learning. In advanced algebra, he would note at how what he learned in algebra and geometry was, again, actually really useful. He took it upon himself to study pre-calculus over the summer, even asking if he could take a textbook to the Boundary Waters. He remarked that, his remarks that this is really interesting because, and this is actually really useful, continued throughout his studies of calculus and statistics. He grew into a leader as he served the math department through peer tutoring. During tutoring, he refined his ability to communicate mathematical ideas to another person through speech and written examples. He developed the ability to produce just the right example, to answer just the right question, and uncover understanding for other people. This proved both challenging and rewarding as he remained committed to honoring the Lord in everything he does. Tonight, I am pleased to give recognition to a student who finds deep meaning in discovering the creation of the Lord. May you continue to see his glory in everything you discover. Congratulations, Gutsmith. Metzing.
There are a lot of really good musicians in this class. It was evident from the beginning of their freshman year that this was going to be a great season of music making with the talent and interest that the Lord had assembled in this place. And we were going full force, too, until our music came to a screeching halt at the end of their freshman year, and then we all had to learn how to limp through sophomore year. But as we stand here tonight, we recognize that the accomplishments of these people are a testimony to the victory of Jesus. The trials of their high school tenure did not defeat them, as is evidenced by the level of performance these students have displayed this whole year. This class has some incredibly talented and focused musicians who have generously shared their gifts with us and with each other for these past 4 years. But we can only honor one of these graduates with the Music Department Award, and that recipient tonight is Jacob Schluter. Jacob began his freshman year in choir. Sorry. You're used to the stage, you can handle it. He began his freshman year in choir not realizing that he could sing really well. Once he became convinced of that, he was willing to share his gift with us through singing in choir all 4 years, singing lead roles in musical theater both here and in the community, singing featured roles with the choirs, and being a crowd favorite national anthem singer for sporting events. Besides his vocal accomplishments, there are 2 areas in particular that I would like to highlight about what Jacob contributed to the music department. The first is his passion. His love of music encompasses his whole being, and he is continually pursuing the study of it in all of its varying styles and forms. Watching him perform on stage and even in rehearsal, you can see that passion exude from his very being, and it is a joy to behold. The second is how that passion fuels his humble leadership. The way he uses his gift to serve those around him is inspiring. Always gracious and patient throughout his 4 years here, Jacob urged others around him to do their best by modeling that himself. He never rested on his natural ability, but always sought to work hard outside of rehearsal, learning assigned music thoroughly and studying additional music to grow in his craft. Jacob will be pursuing a career in vocal performance and music education. I am certain that we will be buying tickets in the future to hear this young man share his gift of music with us. And we will come, because hearing you sing delivers the hope and the joy which come from the creator of that voice that you so willingly share with us. Congratulations, Jacob.
The competition starts out fierce, and many find out early that they just don't have what it takes to continue the fight, so they drop out early. Of what is left, who still have the fight in them, they come to a fork, and half choose the other path, which leads them away. Of the few that remain, that get close to the prize, only one is victorious. Oh, I'm sorry, these are my health reproduction notes. Sorry about that. Really? This is why Dr. Berner always looks at my speeches for graduation. But he forgot to do this one. This year, the PE award winner has taken all the courses necessary to be in the running for it. Basic PE, everyone is in. Then advanced PE, for those who want to reach a little bit more and take on other areas of interest and help them to succeed in maybe more life skills. And then the final RTPF, for those who are motivated to become stronger and to gain more in their area, that they would succeed on the college level. This year, one person has done all of those things and has been a TA for me and a positive role model within my classes to the other students. And this year, Mr. Will Hugo has done all of those things and has accomplished the PE award winner. So if he would come on up, I would appreciate it. Of course, to be a PE award winner and to be able to help instruct the class, which a lot of times my aides have to do, they need to have some sort of communication device, a whistle, to make sure that the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing and to stop them from doing things they shouldn't be doing. To have a stopwatch, to always be able to know how fast you're getting, because that is one of the things as you pursue your goal as a track athlete at Concordia St. Paul, but always as well to look good out on the track. Go ahead. Like any PE person would have to do. Congratulations. There's a little lift in there.
The only other time that I was allowed to present the Science Award winner, about 8 years ago, the night of the Science and the Convocations thing happened, our Science Award winner was actually across the Atlantic Ocean. And so he wasn't even here for me to award things. I hope that this year's winner doesn't leave the country before I finish my description. This year's Science Award winner probably has spent more time working on things at school, and I mean academic things, than any 5 other students that you could name. This student would show up before school, be around my room during study halls, when college classes did not meet, spent many days there during the summer when I was out fly fishing in Montana. Many times I had to mention to Fofana to make sure the door was okay so he could get in and out of the room. I trusted him that much to do that, and Fofana did also. So when Fofana locked up, he'd check to make sure that this student wasn't there anymore. he was there that much. Of course, the student ranked very highly and was top in almost all of his science classes, but especially he excelled at the detailed, incredibly complete lab write-ups and engineering notebook entries that he had written. His teammates would agree to this idea that he almost single-handedly got that team to the state tournament this year because of that and his time he spent with things. Despite what some would refer to as perhaps a sensory communication handicap, this student has self-advocated and literally worked overtime to perform what the vast majority of students and his peers to outperform them in communicating with others, especially in his written work. The science and engineering problems he has tackled and solved have been amazing, and you can read exactly what he's done in his engineering and physics notebooks. This student has grown from a lowly skin and bones freshman to a respected leader. A person has made it cool to be a science nerd. He is extremely trustworthy, as I've mentioned. He's empathy-driven, and he's always ready to help out in any task. He is a patient young man of humility, a very godly characteristic indeed, not only when being a mentor to underclassmen in the courses that he's helping with, but also when he needs to be patient with himself on the golf course. He would be the first to admit that there is hardly an athletic bone in his body, yet he keeps at it. Being early to the driving range, he'll stay late, and he just keeps at it and keeps his frustrations in check, no matter how far south his game goes. He had to be almost forced to break a golf club one day I gave him, not his own, at the end of the season when he was awarded the most level-headed award on the team. He's been a member of CA's Scholastic Action Shooting Program for 4 years, went from not even being able to hit 5 targets with all the ammo in his magazine to hitting 5 targets in 5 shots in less than 3.5 seconds. I say this about our winner because it shows that this funny, soft-spoken young man who hopes to become an electrical engineer and work in robotics truly embodies the CA tenet of becoming better than we once were. The student, of course, is Cyrus Nelson.
This year's Social Studies Department Award winner scores high in many categories. Category number 1, diligence. In this category, there are few students who surpass this young man in academic effort. He has a work ethic that is highly commendable, and it shows. While his grades do reflect this, it is in the deeper waters where this diligence is particularly noteworthy. I've had the opportunity in numerous classes to read his work and not merely grade his tests. Whether as a sophomore in Western civilization or more recently in American Eyewitness, this young man excels where others have often retired. The second category, character. You'll be hard-pressed to find a young adult who has a more noble, honest, caring, and thoughtful character. He is considerate and has the wonderful ability to see out beyond himself and recognize that there are others in the room. And he embodies that ever more rare ability to listen. Where others vie for center stage to spout their thoughts and opinions, this young man will take in the rantings and ravings of others, consider them, and then likely give a very measured, thoughtful response. Insight is our third category. Our award winner is one who has a natural affinity for learning things and paying attention to what is going on in the world. What makes him special in the realm of history is that he not only knows the material, the factual side of things, but he is able to evaluate it and to discuss it. I have found that he shines the brightest in those areas where critical thought is called for. Investment is our final category. Obviously, anyone who attains success in any academic area is invested in that realm to a point. Some are invested to the point of where they are satisfied with a grade or some other outcome, and that's enough. Not this young man. For example, when the bell rings, even the best of students make a hasty exit for the next class or activity. But not our award winner. After American Eyewitness ends for the day, it is more likely than not that a cluster of young men will remain discussing the day's topic or something else that is going on in the world with me. One thing is sure, Seth Kubitschek will be among them offering his thoughts and insights. And so, Seth Kubitschek, you are this year's Social Studies Department Award winner. And I might add, he scores very high in these categories. And it has been a pleasure to have him in class, to witness his love of learning, and more specifically, his love of history. And finally, to observe him growing in wisdom and maturity. This year's Theology Department Award winner scores high in many categories. Diligence. That's not true. He's not diligent at all. That's not true either. It should be noted that this year's Theology Department Award winner wanders around in the same circle of friends as does our social studies winner. I only mention this because this circle of friends is a group the likes of which I'm not sure I have witnessed in my 30-plus years of teaching. When they are together, they remind me of young bears tussling with each other, trying to figure out what it means to be a bear and what that should look like. Sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's annoying. Nevertheless, they are learning some valuable skills. These young men laugh together, and they also discuss and argue. But what separates them from others is that they discuss and argue about things that actually matter: life, history, ideas, and yes, matters of faith. And right in the midst of this is a young man for whom matters of faith have grown in importance during the last several years, to the point where he has become a most formidable young theological thinker. While I did not have him in class his sophomore year, the year in which he transferred to Concordia Academy, I often saw Radon Coy in the hallway on his way to class. And to be honest, I often found myself thinking, what's his deal? His countenance was stern, and it seemed on the brink of stone cold. A face like that possibly suggests either deep thought or anger, and I wondered what it might be. But people change and they grow, a reality that certainly was the case for Radon. Along the way, he encountered and experienced Jesus Christ, and his faith exploded. Perhaps the most significant change for Radon was setting aside several weeks during the summer after his sophomore year and attending a Summit Ministries student conference. Now, this is not some Bible camp, gather around the fire and sing songs experience. Summit is intensive. It is a training ground for young men and women who desire to deepen their faith and develop a keen spiritual and intellectual understanding of being a Christian in the world as it is today. And I'd like you to ponder that last phrase, as it is today. Radin came back a changed person, and this was readily apparent to anyone who took the time to chat with him. A new countenance, a deeper faith walk, and a substantial increase in his ability to think biblically and proactively engage with a questioning world now mark who Radin is. Radin takes a great deal of interest in biblical study and Christian apologetics. He knows how to think on his feet and dive into a conversation with those who may be skeptical or antagonistic towards Christ and his followers. He clearly embodies what Peter writes in the New Testament when he says, "In your hearts, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for the reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect." I don't know if this is Radin's life verse, but it very well could be. Finally, whether in Scripture and Life or in my C.S. Lewis course, I have found his comments and insights worthy of consideration as they reflect depth of thought and a commitment to the pursuit of truth. In fact, it has been I who have been blessed and rewarded by Radin's involvement in these courses, and it is a true honor to present this year's Theology Department Award to Radin Coy.
Good evening. I have had the privilege of knowing the World Languages Department Award winner for the past 4 years. The student impressed me during their freshman year when they had a high level of enthusiasm for the subject, a joyful spirit, and a welcoming attitude towards other new and somewhat nervous classmates. I continued to be impressed in Spanish 2 and yet again in Spanish 3. This student's grasp of Spanish has grown significantly over the years, as seen in test scores, written work, and speaking abilities, all the while juggling extracurricular sports and being an excellent student ambassador here for our school. In many ways, learning a language is actually a team sport. A lot of social interaction is required in the classroom, and if we're not careful, it can lead us off topic or out of using Spanish. Not that this ever happened, of course, not even today. This student served as a role model in last year's Spanish 3 class, always willing to volunteer and answer, participate in a mini drama, or help another student understand Spanish vocabulary. Her enthusiasm for Spanish shines through her friendly demeanor with her classmates, both in and outside of my class. I'm always grateful for students who display this type of leadership. But I mentioned that I've had this student for 4 years, and that means she is one of 6 students in my Spanish 4 class this year. In fact, she's probably the reason we have Spanish 4, as she recruited so many students to be able to have the class. She's so enthusiastic about Spanish class that I've received pictures from her studying at her favorite restaurant called Listo. It's excellent. She loves to go there. And just today, she shared completely in Spanish during today's show and tell activity what she wants to be in the future: a dolphin. May I just say, I teach Spanish, not career counseling. You can ask her about that choice later. I'm so pleased to announce that this year's World Language Department Award goes to Elena Roque.
Tonight, I have the privilege of acknowledging those members of the class of 2023 who have successfully completed Concordia Academy's STEM program. These students have taken 5 years of science classes and 4 years of math. While taking these classes, they have maintained a GPA above 3.0. They have also completed an internship in a STEM-related field and have completed an original research project and paper. Their research project and paper competed at the Twin Cities Regional Science Fair. I am proud to announce the students who have completed Concordia Academy's STEM program. When I call you up, please come up to the stage. Carmen Benzus. Nora Dillner. Elizabeth Grove. Catherine Reinhardt. And Delia Wiltman. And one more round of applause. Thank you.
Concordia Academy's Emerging Artist curriculum was created as a counterpart to the STEM program. This advanced track allows students invested in the arts to dig deeper into those interests, to connect them to professionals in the arts fields, and to express their talents through a showcase exhibit for the community to enjoy. The students enrolled in this program commit a considerable amount of their time to complete the pillars of the curriculum, and their accomplishment is then included on their school transcript. This year's emerging artists have completed the requirements for the program, culminating in the formal showcase highlighting their work, which will be open yet this evening. So please take a moment following the convocation to follow the map that Mr. Roth told you about through the mezzanine of the lower gym, looking at the artwork on the walls, to the Becken Conservatory to see the showcase. And the artists will be down there as well. And now I present to you our 2023 emerging artists. If you would all come to the stage, Anna Bohl, Katie Harris, Gracie Johnson, and Jacob Schluter. Congratulations to the emerging artists.
Concordia Academy is blessed to be chosen by and allowed to participate in the Flaherty Family Foundation. The Flaherty Family Foundation is a pre-collegiate scholarship opportunity that requires students to complete 4 years of college and career readiness programming. Students are selected in the spring of their 8th grade year through a competitive application process and interview process that is based and evaluates their academic achievements, their character, and their commitment to having a positive impact on their high school community. Tonight it is my privilege to introduce to you our 3 Flaherty Scholars in the class of 2023. Please welcome and congratulate Carmen Bensus, Alfonso Green, and Abigail Landvik.
The objective of Concordia Academy's chapter of National Honor Society is to foster enthusiasm and scholarship leadership and responsible citizenship in their community and school. Students are invited to apply to our NHS chapter each fall based on their cumulative grade point average, their character, their service, and leadership. The staff at Concordia Academy then look to accept our students based on those qualifications. This year's chapter consists of 30 seniors and 25 juniors. Students are required to maintain their scholarship, continue to display leadership, and also to conduct both individual and group service projects. Our NHS chapter this year served over 1,100 hours of service. The chapter collectively raised money for St. Jude's Research Hospital by selling sonograms. They served in concession stands to help allow parents to watch their players play. They organized snow days assemblies despite a very cold and snowy week. They tutored students both here at Concordia Academy and at some of our local middle schools. They also completed some needed cleaning projects here around Concordia. Our students also individually served in their church communities and also in their local communities. They have, and I believe that they will continue to show a heart of service to their community, whether here at university or in their future careers. We are able to honor this year's junior inductees at chapel this week. I am pleased to honor our new and returning members of the senior class here tonight. When your name is read, please receive your graduation cords here on stage, and we will recognize you as a group together. After the convocation is over, we'd ask that you come down to the lower gym where we'll take a group picture, and you'll receive your certificate. All right, Soren Anderson, Olivia Brosser, Thad Christensen, Nora Dillner, Aiden Dorn, Ava Griffin, Elizabeth Grove, Katie Harris, William Hugo, Gracie Johnson, Lindsay Johnson, Elise Kalin, Logan Kirchhoff, Heidi Kruckelberg, Abigail Landvik, Lindsay Lundgren, Nora Lynch, Ava McTeague, Kyla McTeague, Gus Metzig, Alexis Meyer, Anna Mashad, Josh Ortiz, Danielle Pearl, Catherine Reinhardt, Elena Roque, Jacob Schluter, Cole Schminsky, Elliot Vargas, and Delia Woltman. Thank you for your service this year.
Good evening. Like the music department, the theater department has been blessed over the last 4 years by not only a very talented group of seniors, but a very dedicated and resilient group of performers who made it through a lot of obstacles over these 4 years to present 8 amazing shows. Tonight, I'll be presenting 3 theater awards to 3 young performers. While the awards are for Best Actor and Best Actresses, these 3 performers have skills in acting, singing, and dancing that make them true triple threats in the theater world. Their combined talents helped lead the theater program to 4 consecutive honorable mention awards for our overall musical productions. For his performances as Dr. Joseph Neff, Kurt Von Trapp, George Bailey, Mr. McQueen, Sir Toby Belch, Oliver Warbucks, Lori Lawrence, and Shrek the Ogre, 3-time Spotlight Award-winning performer Jacob Schluter. Our first Best Actress has appeared on stage as Brigitte Von Trapp, Uncle Billy, Billy Boy Bill, Viola, Annie, Hanny Mullet, and young Princess Fiona, among many other roles, 2-time Spotlight Award winner Delia Woltman. And our second Best Actress tonight appeared on stage as Irene Rudolph, Sister Sophia, Mary Hatch Bailey, Senator Phipp, Fabian, Miss Hannigan, Beth March, and Princess Fiona, 2-time Spotlight Award winner Nora Dillner.
It has been a very successful year in Concordia athletics. Our teams have certainly accomplished great things. And we also want to acknowledge that we have an unprecedented 17 seniors who have committed to continuing their athletic careers at the collegiate level. That is impressive. We also would like to introduce to you tonight Katie DeWitt, who has come on board as our new athletic director and dean of students. Please help me in welcoming Katie DeWitt. I've had the pleasure of working with these athletes who are being honored here tonight, and so I will be presenting the athletic department awards tonight. The first award that we would like to present is an award that is given to athletes who have participated in 3 or more sports for all of their years here at CA. This is quite an accomplishment. It is one that our athletic programs depend on to thrive the way that they do with the athletes who are committed to being multi-sport athletes. We do want to thank all of you seniors here tonight who have been participating in multiple sports in your time during these 4 years. And now we will recognize the following 3 seniors with this special award. When I call your name, please come up on the stage. First of all, we have Christian Brown, who played football, basketball, track and field, and baseball. Next, we have Nick Brunn, who participated in football, basketball, and baseball. And finally, we have Ben Sell, who also participated in football, basketball, and baseball. One more round of applause. CA has awarded one athlete who is generally the most decorated of our senior female athletes as the Athena Award winner. This event was held in April on the 19th at the River Center at a wonderful banquet. And so Catherine Reinhardt has already received that recognition, but we also did want to recognize her tonight as well. This person generally also represents Concordia Academy in the spiritual and the academic values that we expect from such a person. Catherine has lettered in volleyball 2 times and was named to the academic all-state team this fall and was part of the state tournament team this fall as well. She also lettered in softball 4 times, was a captain 2 times, was a part of the 2019 state tournament team, and was also named to the all-section team last year as a junior. Congratulations, Catherine Reinhardt. The Female Athlete of the Award will be given to 2 athletes this year. This is an uncommon practice for this award. However, we have never had 2 athletes deserving of this award whose abilities and accomplishments so closely resemble each other. Ava McTeague, would you please come on up? Ava has lettered 7 times across the sports of volleyball, basketball, and softball, earning honorable mention all-conference in volleyball 1 time. She was all-conference in basketball and in volleyball. She was voted all-state this past fall as she helped our volleyball team to the state tournament and was also named at that time to the all-tournament team. She also was named academic all-state. Congratulations, Ava McTeague. Kyla McTeague, would you please come on up at this time? Thank you for wearing your hair differently tonight. That was my trick freshman year, and then they changed everything up on me. Haven't quite known what to do. Kyla McTeague also lettered it 7 times across volleyball, basketball, and softball, also earning honorable mention all-conference awards in volleyball and basketball, and she also was all-conference in volleyball. Also helped lead our team to the volleyball state tournament and was also academic all-state. Congratulations, Kyla McTeague. For our male athlete of the year, this individual has been active for 4 years in a variety of sports. He has begun his senior year as he continued to lead and have success on the soccer field, while his role as a football player continued to grow as he was a valuable member of that football team. He was a solid member on our basketball team, which ended up as the Section 4AA runner-up for the 2nd year in a row. And finally, he's been wrapping up his senior year by helping our boys track and field team win our first conference championship since 2005. Over his 4 years, Will Hugo has lettered 9 times across the sports of soccer, football, basketball, and track and field. He has been honorable mention all-conference in soccer and in track. He has been named academic all-state 2 times already in track and field. He has been all-conference in soccer 1 time and all-conference in track and field 2 times. and as of last night, was a conference champion in the 4x200 meter relay. Congratulations, and come on up, Will Hugo.
It is my honor to present the Service Award. The Service Award is an award that we do not necessarily give out every year. It's only when a certain student rises to the occasion as nominated and selected by the entire faculty. This is what the person who nominated this year's winner wrote. This student's contributions and leadership to our school have been fundamental to our school in technology, theater productions, chapel service, mission advancement events, as a TA, and in numerous other ways. On the tech team, she takes charge, writing up minutes, leading discussions, helping to plan future meetings. She is engaged with the entire process, willing to learn new skills, and never says no to tackling whatever work lies ahead. She best exemplifies student leadership and service in a capacity that drives others forward. Her passion for helping others is evident, especially in ways that she cares for her fellow team members and their well-being. I have witnessed this person step aside from opportunities that might greatly improve her own resume, roles that she is well capable of and has earned the privilege of executing, simply to allow others to learn and to lead. In these instances, I have seen her work underneath them without grumbling or any type of complaints. It is in the greatest sense, best amplifies this student is a person of honesty, integrity, perseverance, and an indomitable spirit that represents service and the best of who we seek to be as the people of Christ. The 2023 Service Award winner is Ruth Kosterman. Congratulations, Ruth. And now it is time for our final two awards. Our salutatorian for this year has participated in basketball, volleyball, Beacon Buddies, Student Activities Board, as a member of the Flaherty Foundation, and as a member of the National Honor Society. Over her 4 years here at CA, she has earned a cumulative GPA of 4.24. I'm proud to introduce Concordia Academy's 2023 salutatorian, Abigail Landvik. Our valedictorian for this year has participated in softball and volleyball, is a student ambassador, student activities board member, tutored at King of Kings and at CA, has successfully completed the STEM cohort. Over her 4 years at CA, she has earned a cumulative GPA of 4.25. I'm proud to introduce Concordia Academy's 2023 valedictorian, Catherine Reinhardt. Well, we sincerely want to thank all of you for joining us for this evening, this special evening of celebration and honors. As you've heard, immediately following this, after our closing prayer, first of all of you students who received awards tonight, you need to make your way to the lower gym immediately for pictures. So if you received any type of award, and teachers, if you presented an award, you make your way to the lower gym also, or I get in trouble. As pictures are being taken. Parents, you are again welcome. There is a reception in our commons, as well as take the opportunity to view the final night of the student arts and displays and the capstone presentations in the hall and the Becken Conservatory, and help us to continue the celebration after the closing prayer. With that being said, would you rise, please, and join with me in our closing prayer? Father, you are the God of all glory, wonder, power, order, goodness, and beauty. We thank you for these young people who have achieved so much. We thank you for in doing so they have honored you, they have honored themselves, they have honored their families, and they have honored Concordia Academy as a school dedicated unto you. We would ask that you'd continue to lead and bless each of them, that they might in turn continue in becoming all that you would have them be, that they might bless your creation, bring honor to your name, and bless this world in your name. Jesus, it is your name we send them and bless them and pray for them. In your name, O God, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we close. Amen. Thank you. Well done, everybody. Well done. Now go get your pictures. Don't